alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying.
Yes, people, welcome back to Let's Talk Premier League. We are here for the Chelsea show. As you'd have seen, we've been busy making a few new things. As you'll know, lateness with me is something that is regular. So now you can listen to music whilst I sort my life out. But I'm joined by Andrew and Slen. Hopefully, Shah will be here soon. How are we both doing?
Yeah, all good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Prime says, let's go. Cop says, I love Anthony Taylor. Cop says, I love Anthony Taylor's bold head. But that red card was harsh. This is long, 4 minutes. It can go up to 8 minutes, Cop. I've got the potential. Depends on how late I am. You could have 8 minutes of it. I might be nice and do 8 minutes, but with different music each time. You never know.
I think it's longer in different time zones. Oh, it's probably longer in different time zones.
Yeah, and that it was only 30 seconds for us, Cop. So
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if in London they've slowed time down or something, but there's always that possibility. Why did it switch? Because I had a very heavy night last night. Very heavy night, and to be frankly honest, I don't really know what I'm doing, Cop. So I forgot it was a Chelsea show. I thought it was a normal one. Robbed of an international break cap. I mean, if you want to come on, you can. I completely forgot. I'm not going to lie, Prime, to ask you. But this is what happens when you have 3 hours of sleep and. Yeah, you don't do drugs, kids. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. But I'll send you a link now, Prime. I'll sort you the link. But there is no better place to start, really, than, well, I suppose there could be better places to start, but we should probably start with what happened at Anfield. Now, Slen was on the watch along, so I know Slen's point of view. Andrew, we'll start with the red card because I feel like that's where most of the shit hit the fan. What did you make of that penalty?
I'm caught in two minds. I haven't got a real argument against the penalty. I've got an argument against the red card. But in current law, people couldn't say it's a red card. People found other things where it may not be a red card. My overall thing is that, like I said, I think it's a penalty. No issues with the penalty whatsoever. Even if it's accidental, which I believe it was. Mm-hmm. Whole red card thing is centered around Anthony Taylor looking at the VAR still photo. Mm-hmm. And I thought there was more of a handball claim of his second motion. Not the one that came off his leg and went, but when it's gone out and hit his arm like that, but he hasn't swiped it like some people were saying. I thought you would have gone, penalty for that. I thought there was more penalty for that than on the line. So I have no issues with the penalty. Red card, I think, is harsh because I don't believe it to be a deliberate, like Luis Suarez's red card in the World Cup. I don't believe it to be something like that. So I thought a yellow would have been deemed sufficient. But I think Liverpool were lucky that we got the red card. Because I thought we would have beaten them with 11 even if they scored the penalty. So, I think they got lucky.
Yeah. I mean, the whole still, with the way the laws of the game are written, and look, as a former referee, there were plenty of laws of the game that I did not agree with, right? still had to follow them through. It's like when they say don't run with scissors at work. You want to run with scissors because you want to live on the edge of danger, but you're not allowed, are you? So basically, it's very similar to that. You may not agree with the rule of don't run with scissors, but that's the laws of the game. And with the way that it's written, unfortunately, they've not left any.
Yeah.
They've not left any doubt with it. Basically, even if it's accidental or not, off you go, lad. Like, unfortunately, that's the way. And me and Charles have had many of arguments. It was accidental. I don't care. Because that's not the laws of the game. Don't care if it was accidental. The laws of the game don't have that feeling. They don't have feelings. So like, and that's why he could just look at a steal, because basically, if he denied a goal or a goal scoring opportunity and it's hit his hand, however, whether that be, he's caught the ball with his hands or it's just hit him, unfortunately, it's a red card and a penalty. Look, I don't agree with it, obviously, because that's the dumbest rule I've ever heard of, because it's come off his fucking knee, right? That is accidental. That's a yellow card. But if we're wanting to go straight to the black and white of the book, the book says no. The book says red card, off you go.
Oh yeah, that's fine. And you know what? That's fine. I could have even possibly given him leeway if they'd run the video.
Yeah,
because it's not even like they ran the video. There was a still picture. So that's a still picture after it's come off his leg. Yeah, as well. So it's not as if it's like it's just directly hit him on the arm and you go, okay, fair dues. But like I said, I just if they'd run the video and then they said, and then he went, yeah, I've got to do it since I'm again. I have no issues whether it is anti-Taylor or not. Do you know what I mean? It's like going, okay, that's fine. That's what's in the rule book. But you know what? Then the rule book needs to change. Because unless he's diving out the way, unless he's gone like that or something like that. I mean, it's like, his arm's in a natural position. Or in an unnatural position. What do you mean? The ball's come off his leg. He doesn't know where it's going to go. He doesn't know where it's going to go. It's not as if he's gone.
His arms were by his side.
That's what I mean. People go, "Oh, well, his arm." What do you mean? I've had more. If that didn't hit his arm, and then the second one, when he hasn't swiped at the ball, but it's hit his arm, I'd have no problem if people were focusing on that one, because I'd go, I understand what you're saying. He has not deliberately hit it, but it's hit his arm. Do you know what I mean? It's got, it's not as if it hasn't come off someone's foot and hit his arm. It's bounced up and it's hit his arm. Yeah. Yeah. I have no problem if it was just for that, and that wouldn't have been. I wouldn't even say that's a red card either. But it's just that's still like when you go, oh yeah, but is it? Where do you want him to put his arm? I mean, what do you want him to go like that?
What do you make of the petition? What do you make of the petition?
Silly. ridiculous. I say ridiculous. I mean, furthermore, you can blame anti-Taylor. You can blame anti-Taylor all you want, right? But we should have been 2 or 3-0 up before they hit the penalty.
You had your chances, didn't you? And you started. Are you just a little frustrated that really that penalty and handball has destroyed the game? Because before that, yes, Liverpool were dominating for large parts of the game, and I thought they started a bit quicker and they had the ball, but same old Liverpool couldn't break down a barnyard door at this rate. I mean, similar as last season, isn't it? We'll chuck a few crosses in, over the best. Oh, nothing's happened.
That's what I mean. That's why I say Klopp. That was my thing. Has Klopp learnt? And on Sunday, he proved he hasn't learnt. Because why would you do crossing inshallah with the best defensive team in the Premier League, who just had and one of the best the best defense in Europe from last year's Champions League? Why would you do that when they can just head it out? And also, they were still doing it when we bought Thiago Silva on, and they added more height into the middle after they took their tallest player Firmino off, and only had Jota, Salah, and Mane there. Why would you cross it in? I don't understand it. That doesn't understand me. Why didn't you bring Thiago on? I've only 50. Why did you bring him half an hour to play? And then we still had they were just having pot shots and 20 yards. I think we still had the best chance the second half. I mean, if that was into a natural left footer or a natural goal scoring midfielder, the Lukaku to Kovacic, we might have scored or at least had a chance. At least tested the goalkeeper. I just thought they played right into our hands. I mean, I praise Thomas Tuchel for tactics, but it's man management to get those guys to calm down because they were heated at half time. They were,
really. Well, you have sort of been fined for failure of controlling your players.
Yeah. Well, that was another one as well. Anthony Taylor booked Mendy for kicking the ball. Not even kick it at Henderson. Henderson was coming and trying to get the ball, and he just kicked it. He kicked it. Henderson starts his whole thing, but Mendy gets the yellow card. All I've been hearing from Liverpool fans is letter of the law. Okay, let's play letter of the law. Why wasn't Salah booked for kicking that ball away? Because it wasn't as he tapped it away. He booked it away. Fabinho had how many fouls? I'm not even saying all of them were yellow cards. It was a total combination. It's like that's fine, but they still couldn't break us down. And I'm disappointed in the fact that with 11-11, I think we're the better team, and I think we beat them. Even after they scored a penalty, if Reece James says on the pitch or yellow card, he might have been taken off for the sub or anything like that. So he might have rearranged it. But I think 11 versus 11, I don't think that. I think we're better than them.
Well, I was about to say that. I mean, 11. If we look at all the top fours, 11, right? You'd probably say what? City. Who do you say top? Because it's either City or Chelsea, in my opinion. Which has the better, starting 11? Not squad depth, starting 11. And Slen, you can jump in if you wish.
Well, I think we do. So I think we're the complete team.
Yeah.
The squad wise, I think we got a striker up there. We got Lukaku.
Yeah.
They haven't got a striker up there.
Yeah, that's a good point. So we'll say Chelsea best 11.
Yeah.
City second.
Yeah, City second. I say City second. Yeah, they're just like one striker away, really.
Is there a good chance to say that United may genuinely have just overtaken Liverpool in terms of starting 11?
You know what? There is a.
I mean, the gap is very much. The gap is very small compared to what it used to be.
All that is difference
is the midfield.
Is the midfield, and I think Man United have better attacking options.
Yeah,
I
would argue that United may even have a better defence potentially.
Well, I've got Liverpool finishing best at 4th, and that's because of their squad.
That's the thing.
Their squad. They haven't improved.
Their squad isn't good enough, but their starting 11 is starting to sort of fall down the pecking order, per se. So, and that gap used to be quite big, and Liverpool used to have probably the best starting 11 there was.
So okay, no, we do this, yeah. Sunday he started with Firmino, right? So, and I think he'd have start with Firmino and Jota. So coaches can go, okay. There's two ways he's going to start. He's either going to start Jota or Firmino, so they can play for that. Yeah, he's either going to start Thiago in midfield or not start Thiago in midfield and play for that. We know they're going to go to their wing backs. That's their most dangerous. We're playing for that. It's not very hard now to work out Liverpool how they're going to play. It's if you've got the team yourself to stop them. Because if you haven't, even if you work them out, their quality will still come through. Yeah.
Yeah.
So them against like a Norwich or Watford or something like that, they might think, oh yeah, we're going to plan them out. They might shut them out for 10, 15 minutes, but it's always going to come through the quality, right? Going against us, Man United, possibly City. I know Pep is sort of stubborn as well, but if they work it out, then they've got good enough squads and players to nullify them. Yeah, to nullify them. Then it's up to Klopp to show that he can change, and he doesn't know how to change. He's very stubborn. He bought Firmino, bought on Jota. Firmino was injured. Fine. Jota. Okay, not really much played. He'll still go through the middle. He doesn't bring on Thiago till 15 minutes because I don't think he knows how to play with a player like Thiago or fit him into this squad without changing it. And he doesn't really like to change. He brought on Shimikas for Robertson. No, Robertson. It was only 86 minutes. You can't even say he's not played for a while. He brought him in 80. Why not just let him finish the 90 minutes? It's another 4 minutes. It doesn't really make a difference. But a left back for a left back. And it's sort of rigid. I mean, you could tell by the crowd. You could tell by the crowd noise. That wasn't very loud, Ranford, was it? On Sunday, we kept them very quiet indeed. And I just with Klopp, it's not like Mourinho when Mourinho's now so stubborn he doesn't change or he hasn't shown levels to change. But Klopp is showing signs that he is stubborn and doesn't know how to change sometimes during the game.
Yeah, I was just about to say it's got to be stubbornness because I find it very hard to believe that a man like Jurgen Klopp doesn't know a different system. I find that he's what, he's probably in his 50s, 60s now. I find it very difficult to believe, but maybe he does. Maybe Jurgen Klopp just has one system.
Well, maybe he thought. No, maybe he thought. Maybe arrogantly he thought, or he had a presumption that last year was a fluke because he had so many injuries that if everyone returning, it would just go back to the 18, 19, 19, 20 lot when we can just go run through teams. Not thinking or not probably taking into fact or not taking seriously into fact that this team is older. Okay. It's the same amount of players minus Gini Wijnaldum. They haven't really, it's not on him because there's a transfer committee rubbish, right? They brought Konate in, but they've not really refreshed the team. That's why I say they're the weakest because of their squad.
Well, yeah, you look at all the business this summer. I mean, City go get Grealish. Now you can argue till the cows come home if that was the right decision. They brought in Grealish.
Yeah.
Chelsea brought in Saul. Obviously, we'll talk about him. And they brought in Lukaku. Manchester United have done a madness, brought in Sancho, Ronaldo, and Varane. I mean, still, got that massive glaring hole in the middle, but I'll bully them on that tonight. But yeah, I mean, it is mad. But Slen, what do you make of Liverpool? I mean, the fact that you've now come up against Liverpool, and to be honest, when you went down to 10 men, it was hardly the hardest fight you've ever probably had to do. I mean, it seemed very much like they got stuck again, just like I remember they got stuck against Fulham, Burnley, Brighton, all at Anfield, and we were all told there was no fans. Oh, Van Dijk is injured. Oh, Klopp hasn't had, I don't know, his happy blowjob day or whatever crap that the Liverpool fans wanted to come out with. There were so many excuses till you're black and blue in the face, and you headbutt in the wall to ask for mercy. And I'm surprised they haven't mentioned that Gerrard hasn't christened a pitch or God knows what, or thrown some holy water on the centre circle. But they got stuck again, and they're meant to be. Well, I can allow the Liverpool fans one thing: Van Dijk is very good, but you are not the greatest ever champions. I'm just saying that now. You are a disgrace to English football. But Sam, what did you make of Liverpool on Sunday?
I think I had let out everything I had to say on Saturday. Was it on Saturday or Sunday? Yeah,
Saturday. Oh yeah, it was definitely Saturday because I was in Fox.
But it was always going to be like this. It was going to reach a point where this team was going to burn out. We had predicted it would be the second season after them winning the Champions League. What did they win first? Was it the Champions or the Premier League? Yeah, after they won the Champions League, then it was predicted. Yeah, it was predicted that they will burn out in the next season. They did very well and won the Premier League. And I thought they would burn out the following season. Okay, they did regress last season. They weren't that good. They can blame it on injuries from their defenders, all they want. But if you're a team that is well run, you sign cover, and good players who can cover for a player when he gets injured for, let's say, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. They didn't do that, so they went ahead and bought some mediocre defenders there in Nat Phillips and this other guy who went to Leeds.
See,
and
I wouldn't even be so mad. Liverpool were actually better when they played Nat Phillips and Kabak at the back because they're centre backs. Believe it or not, I know the whole idea sounds weird as fuck, but if you play a couple of players, they can be worse than Van Dijk, of course they can, but it also means you're not taking away from your midfield, right? Because we saw it. If it's an engine, right? He plays with an engine in midfield. That is what Fabinho. That is what Hendo offers you. Yeah. You took that out, so you weaken not only your defense, you've now weakened your attack. For what? Oh, you've now may have slightly improved your defense, but you've massively weakened your midfield. So, I mean, you see what I mean? They were actually better when Klopp actually grew a brain and decided to move them two forward and put in two young centre-backs.
The issue is last season was, I don't think it was, okay, they had the injuries, but the last season, and it's proven again a bit this season, is I think it's their attack. Because even last season,
I think it's stale.
I think it's third.
Yeah.
Mane's been off season. I've been kind for about 18 months. He's been out of form.
That is being
at
kind,
least.
but...
At least. And Firmino is just, I and Jota's good, but I don't. The thing is, Jota's like a Salah or Mane player, probably better up wide than he is in the centre. So
yeah,
if Salah's not popping up or doing anything, then teams can focus on Salah because Mane and Firmino aren't on any type of form. So
yeah, I completely agree. C1 London says, as Drogba said against Barca, the red card is a disgrace, but it is what it is. It's said and done now.
Yeah,
Chelsea are winning the title, I think, but even with 10, we still could have beaten them.
Yeah, true.
Cop says, not gonna lie, Liverpool was shit. Yeah. Going forward, I thought you were poor.
Yeah, second half they were non-existent.
Cop Henderson is a slide tackle, passion merchant, nothing special, average player. Ouch. Winter Surfer, Anthony Taylor, the bold forward man, the absolute waster. Klopp can be flexible, but he chooses not to. He is stubborn.
Oh, so he's stubborn. He is stubborn, yeah.
Andrew, I'm not biased. Salah should have got a yellow.
No, that's fine. No. I don't really like calling it yellow cards. It's just when I heard like letter of the law, for the penalty. Red card. Fans go, letter of the law. Okay, well, if that's the case, then blah blah.
Letter of the law. Salah deserves at least a 2-footed tackle from Anthony Taylor.
But it wasn't even like a little kick away, which I could find.
No,
it was like a full boot.
He's booted. He's booted that ball. He's definitely gone for it.
Yeah. And Fabinho had about 5 tackles.
Yeah. You know what Salah did? He basically slapped a guy's face and slapped his lunch out of his hands. But the refs saw dessert in the teacher's lounge and went for dessert instead of punishing the player. C1 says, I don't think United have a better 11 than Liverpool. But they might not. They might not. But the reason I wanted to make that comment is because we're always talking of Liverpool having a really good 11. And I just merely wanted to say, well, yes, but they've dropped below Chelsea, below City, and United are, if they're not there, they're not far off having a better 11.
No.
I mean you look at that. You look at a front three of what? Let's say Pogba on the left, Greenwood on the right, Ronaldo up front. That's much better than Salah, Firmino, Mane.
I can make a case, if we do a joint 11, I could probably make a case for 5 Man United players in there.
Yeah, so you'd go Alisson in goal. Alisson in goal. Although De Gea's actually looking decent this year, so we'll see how that goes. Trent wide back with Varane, Van Dijk,
Robertson,
but then you could argue Shaw, but he's had a really poor start to the season, hasn't he?
Midfield Fabinho, Pogba, Bruno.
Yeah, that works.
And
with what?
Ronaldo, Greenwood, and Salah. You can make an argument for.
Yeah,
so that's 5. That's 5 United players, and so it's not like it's like Liverpool have like some people tried to do an Arsenal Chelsea combined 11.
Yeah.
And I was like going, why? It's a waste of time. It's just a waste of time.
Yeah.
We've got to shoehorn Kieran Tierney in. I was like, why? Why have you got to shoehorn Kieran Tierney in there? A Saka in there? Why? He might make the bench, but he's not making the combined 11.
Oh, Saka. I'm going to say something really controversial and people might hunt me down for this. Saka is shit recently. Fuck me. He's been dog shit for the last... Well, he started the second half of last season. He was a different level of crap, and then he started this year. Oh,
but now he's been overplayed. That's the
I
problem.
think what Sorry,
Pep wouldn't know
I
for
think
play.
what Arsenal fans don't see in Saka is when he's asked to defend, like when he's attacking and when the team is flowing in the attack, he's really good. But when you ask Saka to defend or do something in the defense, he doesn't do anything. Reece James had the whole field to play when we played Arsenal, and Saka did nothing. So when you ask Saka to help the team, to play as a team player, he can't help you. That's why Arsenal are looking this bad. But if they flow in the attack, he will come good. He is very good going forward, but he's trash when you ask him to do something for the team.
Yeah.
Just track someone, like track back. He can't. Yeah, tackle. He can't. So that's why he's being that shit this season and at the end of last season.
In my opinion, the under-21 ballers goes Greenwood, Foden, Cho, then Saka somewhere below fucking Dwight McNeil. And that, and even that might be harsh on Dwight McNeil. Also, well, yeah, but it's true, and also Saka, yeah, Greenwood has destroyed that debate, and he would like an apology now. But it's okay. Southgate does like him. Big up to Natasha. But enough talk of other teams.
Yes.
You did quite well when you went down to 10 men, but I suppose there wasn't really a lot to defend because they were really shit. But I want to move on because you've let go of Zuma. We'll talk about Saul Niguez in a bit, but you've let go of Zuma. Now, Chalobah is in the first team. You didn't manage to get Kounde.
Yeah.
What's your feelings of that one not being got done? I'm guessing you're now Roman Abramovich out and
everyone
demanding refunds of season tickets and all that crap.
I think what it is I have no problem with Sevilla changing their minds. They're allowed to do so.
Yeah,
it's not a legal document, an agreed thing. My thing was like, okay, Chelsea, so this is a learning thing for you to do, yeah. If you'd already agreed verbally a deal with Sevilla, then why not have everything signed before you announce Zuma's sold and the amount he's sold for? Yeah. So why not, then you can instantly do Zuma sold Kounde in like that. Yeah. You do it like that. That was it as well. And also, I know you wanted to get players out first, but we agreed with this guy like 6 weeks ago, personal terms. It was like, and I know you love to get a deal, and you could have expedited negotiations quicker. And that's my only fault. That's my only thing I have against sometimes how Chelsea do business. It's just the length of time. I know of how they do business apart from the length of time. But okay, so we didn't get him. I'm not one of the ones that Chalobah's in. We don't need Kounde. I don't try and bring down the ambitions of my club to get great players. So I'm that. I would have had him in because there's a lot still hanging over the future of this defence. Thiago Silva probably won't sign another deal. Rudiger hasn't signed another deal.
Yeah.
Zuma's now gone. Christensen will sign a new deal, I believe. That was the rumours that he's agreed a new 4-year extension. And then you have.
What about Chalobah and Mark Way?
Mark Gay's gone, so we can't have them.
I was just about to say, he is.
He's gone.
Sorry.
No, I was making a jokes about the youth.
Oh, sorry. Your tone never changes, so I never know. So it's always you must be great. You must be great at poker. That's all I'm saying. But I'm. It happened. It happened. Will we get him in January? I don't know. Will we get him next year? I don't know. But I would have liked to have him. It would have topped off a great window. But I think if we're looking at importance, because of the emergence of Chalobah, I believe the striker was a first need, and then during the window and everything like that, the midfield position became the second biggest need. And if I had to choose between the two deals, I would have preferred to get Saul Niguez before Kounde, if that was the choice. I know it wasn't, but Saul Niguez is now there because that's a top quality midfielder, which makes more sense why we let Gilmour go, because we need to get someone else in with experience. And it also allows us to rest Kante a lot more. Saul Niguez, I know he's had a horrible year, but that's because it's some Atletico Madrid been changing the way they play and everything like that. A man's still only 26, been around for ages, absolute ages. And I just think now we don't have to rush Kante in. You know, I know he's not been doing that too.
You also don't have to rush Gilmore. Well. You don't have to rush Gilmore back.
No, exactly.
Let's say he has a really good season with Norwich. You might go, okay, cool. That was with Norwich. Okay, Graham Potter, do you fancy having a little year with Billy Gilmore? Or you know, Everton or some slowly start to move him up the table.
Yeah.
So he started at relegation sort of level Norwich, which is not unfair.
Oh, as he froze. I thought it was.
On them, but that's one of them.
Sorry, I thought
am back
now.
Now. Fuck knows what happened there.
I had frozen it, but the sled moved, and then I realised it wasn't me.
Andrew was just nodding along like, yeah, and.
Sorry.
But yeah, no, basically, you don't have to rush. You don't have to rush Billy Gilmore back. You can just go. He's had Norwich. Let's try him at Brighton. Let's try him at Everton or Leeds. Let's move him up slowly and progress him in the right way. Obviously, I know Johnny Boy is probably at my door about to, you know, kick my head in for even suggesting that Billy Gilmore might not even be ready.
Very tiny man. Very small man.
Yeah, very, very tiny man. I am quaking in my boots.
It's got potato
Andrew said that, by the way, not me. Yeah. I agree with Andrew, but Andrew said
Mr. Potato Head. It's all right. Mr. Potato Head's fine. Right.
But yeah, he's probably just outside my door. He's outside my door waiting to kick my head in for even suggesting that. Crikey wouldn't have liked what I said about Mount after the first half yesterday. I just want to say I didn't direct it directly at Mount. I directed it all 11 players. I was frustrated with all of them, mainly Jack Grealish.
Hang on, sidebar on that. I missed the game, and then I put in the highlights. And Sky highlights only showed the one shot of Harry Kane hitting over the bar, and then it went to 49 minutes. I went, "Is that all that happened in the first half?" You wonder why people don't watch international football when it's shit
I may have accidentally, during the anger of Jack Grealish rolling around like an absolute tosser, I may have shouted out a very, very naughty word. I may have referred to him as a certain something that we'll move on from. But yeah, Pepper's really got onto him already, which just wanted to say. But Mount, he ain't too bad. Mount ain't too bad. But to be fair, this loving for the youth, it's got to stop, blood. It's got to stop. Like, Argyle have limited funds, and not even we try and shove as many youth in as Johnny Boy would. I mean, geez.
It's just I've already said this. This needs to stop. It needs to stop. 2019 is when this started through Frank Lampard.
No, Andrew, mate. Just because you don't have the minerals, okay? Just because you don't have the minerals.
But that word, unbelievable. But yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, if Gilmore, listen, I think there might be a big transition next year in the midfield because I believe either one or possibly both Jorginho and Kovacic could leave next season. Kante's getting older and more injury prone. Yeah. I still think we will. If Saul Niguez does well, I think we will buy him. But I also think we'll buy Tchouameni if no one else buys him.
It's only a 40 mil.
30 million, 30 to 35 million pounds. That's what it is.
Well, I mean, if you can get Saul Niguez, if you can get Saul Niguez playing that well, you'd snap that up, especially as he's about to enter his prime.
Yeah, he's only 26, going into 27 this season.
Yeah, that's insane. I do think Kovacic will be. I think this is his last year.
Yeah, I do as well.
I think, and then you look at replacing Kovacic with Saul Niguez.
Yeah.
If Billy Gilmore is ready at that point, you can bring Billy in. If not, you can always go get Tchouameni. I don't think Chelsea will ever get Declan Rice now. Honestly, I don't really see it ever happening. I think if it was going to happen, it would have happened by now.
Yes, and there is a possibility we might get Francesi on a free. So
yeah, I mean, I think if Declan Rice goes to a bigger club, I just see it at Old Trafford. I just really, really see him at Old Trafford. I don't see him at Chelsea, but that's my opinion. Russ says can't blame Chelsea for Sevilla up in the price last minute. but I get what you're saying about things being signed beforehand. I think it's more how it gets released, isn't it? How it's released to the media.
I mean, CFC Russ said in some cases people are right about our youth players. I mean, are they really? I mean, you kind of have to think about it. Like you said, what Lamptey and Livramento. In all honesty, they're playing well at lesser sides. I mean, Brighton were in a relegation battle last season. They probably will be in one this season again. Livermento's at Southampton, and people are saying Southampton this season will be in a relegation battle. So
No,
I don't think them
I
playing
don't know
well.
about you, but Prime, I don't know about you. I will praise them for having a great game here too. Let's just see how the season's gone. You know, if Livramento ends up being the best player at a relegated Southampton, fantastic. Then there's a buyback clause on him. Would we action on it? I have no idea.
Exactly, and plus people have to think. All right, if we had kept Livramento or maybe Lamptey, then like Lamptey was what 2 seasons ago maybe. If we had kept Lamptey, maybe
James
wouldn't have played, and James would have gone, and he would have balled out. Or if we keep Lamptey this season, what happens to Callum?
But the thing is, they should have done this for all the youth. If they think they're going to ball out, put a buyback clause on them, and they have done now. They're putting buyback clauses on them. Put one on Tino Andrin. He's going out to Russia. Fine. They put one on Tammy. Fine. They put one on Livramento. Absolutely brilliant. Should have put one on Tomore. They haven't done that. That might come back to bite us. But we have to, I'll praise them individually. I thought Livramento had a banging game against Manchester United. I thought he was excellent. And he started over Carl Walker-Peters as well, which I find amazing. But the youth, like you say, the youth in the midfield, it's got to, it's got to stop. It really has. It's very weird. Everyone's like, most of the youth lovers want all the youth in. But I say to them, do you trust Thomas Tuchel to make the right decision? Yes. Okay. So if your favourite youth player doesn't get in, then you have to back Tuchel, right? That's what I say to them. You have to back Tuchel. So Cho's not getting in, then Cho's not getting in. So
this is the beauty of the way I do it. I have my hometown club, and then I'm just Mason Greenwood FC. So I can slam Ollie. I can body slam that little bitch if Greenwood don't get in, because I'm Greenwood FC. It's beautiful. But Prime, what do you make of the fact that you haven't got Kounde? Now, you have obviously got Chalobah coming through, but again, very raw talent, very unproven, very unknown. Not necessarily how Chelsea conduct themselves in the past. How do you see? Do you see not getting Kounde as a problem for this season?
No, maybe yes. No, Kounde is a signing that is more so long term than it is short term. I think our centre backs now, like again for this season, Aspie is still one of the best defenders in the world, whether it's playing as a right back or in a back three at centre back. Christensen and Rudiger, they've proved me wrong. They've been amazing. We still have Thiago Silva, even though he's going to play less games because of his age. He's still one of the best centre backs in the world. I think we're fine there. James, if needed, can cover in. So I think our priority was buying a striker, buying a quality midfielder that can come in for depth. Centre back, maybe not necessarily a priority per se. So I guess if Sevilla wanted to change the terms or whatever, then it's fine if we didn't try and press it. But I think either getting a centre back or a wing back, a right wing back, is something that we might need to address. So if not this summer, that's just gone, then next summer or maybe in January. Because if people are saying Callum isn't a wing back, and that's fine, then we need competition or depth for Reece James. And we also need to plan for the future because Silva's 36, Aspie's 31, and I think he needs to sign a new contract.
32.
I think Rudiger has signed a new contract. However, Real Madrid are sniffing in for him, and Christensen, he's already signed a contract, so that's fine. But we have probably two of our best centre backs are aging. Thiago's aging, and Aspie's 31. I don't know. He probably won't get a big contract. He might just get contract extensions. So we need to plan for the future. Chalobah's been really good, but I'm someone who I don't trust just throwing in young players randomly. I'm not going to play Chalobah in a 40, 50 game season and expect us to win the league, because I just don't think he's ever going to be that good. And again, that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with having average players, quote unquote, or squad depth, in a squad, because I think Chalobah can play a part this season in us winning the league. Maybe he can even develop into a talent. I don't know, but that's an area we do need to plan for, and I think Kounde will eventually be that.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
buying this summer, it's fine, I guess, because in theory we do have depth in that area, so it shouldn't be a problem. But it is what it is.
And obviously, you just slated Chalobah, so Johnny's going to be outside your house in about 5 minutes' time, demanding answers.
He don't care about Chalobah. It's about Mount Gilmore.
Chalobah did this preseason and this season in general what I expected from Callum. Have a brilliant preseason, work hard in training, get your chance in the Super Cup, shine. Get your chance in the first game against Crystal Palace and shine. Callum didn't do that. He plays well in training. Didn't have the best preseason. He started our Super Cup final when in theory maybe didn't deserve it, but because Aspie wasn't back and James wasn't back, he was the only one who could have started. Had a not stinker. I think he had an average game, an okay game. Didn't deserve to play against Crystal Palace, and he hasn't started since. And that is. The reason why he hasn't started since is because the next game after that was Arsenal, and Chalobah, who had a brilliant Super Cup and a brilliant first game of the season, didn't start against Arsenal, because even though I don't take Arsenal seriously, Chelsea fans in general do. They treat it as a derby. Arsenal fans treat it as a derby. Our players treat it as a derby. So it makes sense you're not going to throw in a young player regardless of how well he's played.
No,
Liverpool, again, they're meant to be the best 11 in the league, the best attack in the league. You're not going to throw Chalobah in there. Same way you're not going to throw Callum in there.
That's true.
So
I think the emergence of Chalobah, there's no doubt been a massive bonus that Tuchel never saw coming, which probably means that he would love to have Kounde in, but he's also got Chalobah in there. I agree with Prime that he's thinking of it, but I bet you at the back of his mind in the Arsenal game, I bet you he probably thought, you know what, I could have thrown Chalobah in there because of how poor Arsenal were. You know what I mean? Liverpool, no way, Liverpool. Just at the moment, just for the whole atmosphere, even like some of the atmosphere, and just the that is a big game. But I think Chalobah's emergence has been a real bonus for everyone at the club. And to say that people were fearing Tuchel wouldn't give youth a chance or anything, I think he's done magnificent with the youth and given them plenty of chances. And Chalobah's gone and yanked that gold ring or whatever, he's done it, and I'm here.
And that's the thing. You can give them a chance, but they have to take it. You can't just be like, you're a young player for our youth academy, so you get 9 million chances and you can turn up on the 9 millionth chance.
Like, you can maybe do that. You can, I don't want to sound like I'm disrespecting other clubs, I'm not, but if you are at Crystal Palace or something, and, fine, they'll give youth players a chance, and you can maybe have a bad game here or there, that's fine. You know what? Cool. But for a big club who are supposed to be challenging for major honours, we genuinely don't have time to put in a young player. They have a stinker of the game. Maybe they cost us the game, and to say, oh, you know what? You're starting next week because we're trusting you for the. We don't have the time. And I hear what you say, Andrew. We could have started Chalobah against Arsenal. And
hindsight.
Maybe I would have in hindsight, but it's a thing of, I don't know. It's a thing of, we've lost to Arsenal the past few times. We need to take this seriously. Just get the job done, get it over the line, and move on. So I that's hindsight, isn't it? So yeah.
Slen and Prime, I don't know if you agree with me. I think that this will be Chalobah's season. I think that some days he's not going to play or even be on the bench, and he's going to have 5-minute appearances and start the odd game here and there. And I think that's fine. But people are going to be like, well, we've got Chalobah for, he's one of our best. It's like, no, this is how he's done it. He's on a pecking order. And at the moment, he's done very well to be even in a pecking order at this club. Do you know what I mean? It's amazing. Next season, I expect, this is the learning season. Okay,
Yeah.
this is the learning season, and then establish yourself in the squad as a first team player, and then next season there might be a big transition. Thiago Silva gone, Aspilicueta less games. You bring a Kounde in January next year, and then bam, you're part of like if you're still playing a back three, you're going. I'm at least like second in one of these two places. Do you know what I mean? That's what I think this season is all about.
People think what Chalobah should play or just start. Okay, that's fine. Who does he start over? Because I know I've questioned Christensen and Rudiger in the past, but they are our established centre backs right now. He doesn't start over Assi either. Thiago Silva, even though he might get less game time, you can say fine, he's fighting with Silva. But even then, Silva doesn't start either. So where does he play?
Go on, Steve. Sorry, Stan.
Let him get. Sorry, yeah, you can go, Stan.
I think I'll agree with Andrew. We're not putting Chalobah here to start every other game. He's learning from the best. We have Silva, we have Rudiger, we have Christensen here. Christensen, we forget he's a senior. We have very, very, very good defenders, and Chalobah can learn this season.
Yeah.
Okay, he won't mourn, of course. He won't mourn. He's not supposed to start every other game. Yeah, he can start a Carabao game here, an FA here, Champions League, dead rubber when we were already qualified. He's learning from the best, and starting next season, he will take that spot and make it his own. That's what Reece James did, and So I expect him to learn this season, and next season he will start.
So you're not putting Chalobah in a Champions League final?
That's
surely that's the question though for Chelsea, even a United. This should be the level, the bar. Are they good enough to be playing in a Champions League final for their retrospective club?
Let me say something. At the moment, Chelsea, it's very weird because now, in my mind, the back three is Christensen and Rudiger plus someone else. I'm not. Thiago Silva, amazing. If 6 months ago you told me I'd be saying that, I'd be saying you are insane. Yeah, but the amount that Christensen and Rudiger have done over the past 6 months, 6 to 8 under Tuchel, let's just say, has been amazing. Would he be my first choice to start? No, but what I'm saying is that with the people around him, I am confident he wouldn't be out of place in my mind. Like, I wouldn't have fear of him. Like when, I don't even know why I was having this. When Christensen came on Thiago Silva, right? At first they were showing pictures of Zuma. And I was going, no.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was going, no. It's got to be Christensen. Now, it might be too much that I'm putting on Chalobah, but I believe he's in the great, whatever people say, Chelsea, they might say, oh, Chelsea's not really attacking. I think we have this era under Roman, we're one of the best defensive units over the past, like he's owned us. And I think he's learning from, he's under tutelage from the best. And he's seeing how Christian, especially he's an academy graduate. Christensen, people forget this, is an academy graduate. Okay, the first since John Terry to make it big. Not Reece James, not Mason Mount.
Does Johnny like Christensen?
I don't know. I don't really care. But the thing is, Christensen, and it's not a slight. I don't listen. Yeah. You can like who you want. My first priority is Chelsea. Okay. And
that's absolutely abhorrent, Andrew. Why do you love Chelsea more than the players? Yeah, unbelievable.
But Chalobah should look at Christensen and go, Christensen, he had a loan journey. He's come back. He played under Conte. Len was left out. Fought his way back in. Had a rough time under Lampard because Lampard's a very young coach, but hopefully he will learn. But he's come through and he's established himself now where he's forced Thiago Silva on the bench. He's forced him on the bench. And he should take that lead and go, that's who I want to aspire to. He's only 4 years older than me, but that is who I want to aspire to be. Him as a defender, and don't forget, he aspires to be.
And Christensen can step
and don't forget, Christensen has had a very hard time. Like, he has had stinkers. Yeah, some performances you look like, and you're like, every Chelsea fan, almost even me. There's a time I saw Christensen on the lineup, and I was like, oh, But now I see him, and I see a competent defender, someone who I don't know where he got the pace from. I can understand.
Yeah,
He's quite physical.
sneaky fast.
Every time he went for a header, he was putting his hands on the opponent. Like right now, he heads the ball like a human being. Yeah, I mean, he has become so good. Every time I watched him, there was a time I used to watch him and I was like, what do you guys see in this guy? So he will come good. I mean, he has already come good, and Chalobah is already good. Like Chalobah is not starting the way Christensen started. Yeah, so he's just having a learning curve for one season. He had actually a very good season in France last year. So he's just having a very good season. I mean, a learning season this season. Then next season we can see what will happen. I'm not saying he will start, but I'm very sure he'll be better, and he will know what is expected of a Chelsea centre back starting next season.
I look at Christensen now as, I mean, he does it for Denmark. He should guide Chalobah, because when I expect Chalobah to have bad games, even if it is in cup games and stuff, into lesser sides. Christensen should guide Chalobah and make sure he doesn't fall off the way Christensen did. Because remember, there's a time where we kind of lacked the leaders in that team, especially our backline. Christensen just fell off. And I know he has confidence. He's a confidence player in a way. But he had no one to help him. And again, especially with Lampard and everything and how we were structured defensively.
Yeah.
Even if Tuchel goes, now Christensen should be one of the guys who can step up and help guide Chalobah and whoever we bring in. For the future. Like, if I don't know if Tuchel would ever do this. I don't think he's this brave, I guess, or naive. But if he was to start Chalobah in a big game out of nowhere, like against Man City, who we have to play next, it would surprise me. I'd be shocked, but I wouldn't be necessarily too worried, depending on who's around. You know, if it's Christensen and Rudiger around him, fair enough. Let's do it.
That's right. I think you're right. I think everyone has to learn not to overreact to starting lineups anymore, which I'm not doing anymore. I'm just going. So he's coming and won European Cup with this squad of players who were down in the dumps. It's in my trust to see whoever he picks. I don't like Alonso, but his reasons for choosing Alonso were correct. He's had 5 weeks of pre-season where Chilwell didn't, even though Chilwell never played a single minute for the Euros. So I don't know why he wasn't back quicker than ever. Yeah. But it's just, if he chooses to Chalobah, if he chooses to bring back Gilmour and play him more times next season, if we buy Rice and he's not my option to buy, if we do buy Rice and he plays him, who am I to doubt Thomas Tuchel, especially if he goes on to win more things this season? So I mean, who are we to? We can question him during the games, but who are we to really doubt him?
Well, Ross says exactly. Nobody is saying Chalobah deserves to start over our current first team players, but he's perfect rotational player and can definitely grow into a starter.
Yes.
If Chelsea do not win the league this year, it will be a massive underachievement.
Okay.
Yeah, I think with Chelsea, our aim this season should be, and listen, I'm assuming, I know never assume anything in life, but I'm assuming we'll win the Club World Cup because we should. So I'm looking at this season, win the Super Cup, win either the league or the Champions League, and then win a domestic trophy. Well, so that's 4.
Well, the League Cup's I think the League Cup's the least of priorities because I think either close to that game or around the World Cup game, there is, if we get through to that round, obviously, there's like a quarter-final round in December that, like Liverpool had last year when they had to play like all the kids or whatever like that. And they got
Andrew, we have the squad depth for it.
No, I'm just saying that might be the one that goes.
Cool. Then
I'd be fine sacrificing domestic cups. I really would.
Yeah, then try. No, but the thing is, I think we can win the league or the Champions League. Maybe we can retain the Champions League. But I want one of them alongside a domestic trophy. Like, for me, that shows actual dominance, not just winning a Prem or winning a Champions League on its own.
I think this is the best. This is the best combined manager and squad since Jose's 14-15 season.
This is the what?
This is the best manager and squad combined since the 14-15 season under Jose when we won the league.
Was the 14? The whole 14, squad. 15. I don't think the whole squad.
Well, we bought Fabregas, Diego Costa in, and I think it is just to the squad. But yeah, I agree. I mean, listen, I think it's very tantalising though, because people will go, "Would you like to win the Premier League or Champions League?" And I would say, "Why do I have to limit myself? I want both. I'm very greedy, as you can tell." But what I will say is this: it's tantalising because you win the Premier League. We haven't won it in 5 years. It'll be in 2022.
Mhm.
It's our joint longest since 05 to 10.
Yeah.
But winning that Champions League now would mean that we've won it 3 times, which we joined with United, and we've won it in less time than them, which would wind them up something rotten. Yeah. So there is something in that, but I think it's the squad is built. Obviously, injuries can play into it. That statement alone, right now, as we're sitting, that is correct. It would be an underachievement. We have to apply context to everything as we do. But I agree. I agree. This squad is built, and we have backed Tuchel. We have backed him, and yeah, I as a statement as it is right now, it would for me be an underachievement, given how the squad is built, how we're defending. Because I don't see us leaking a lot of goals.
No.
I don't think we're going to go anywhere near our own record of 15 league goals, because that would be just ridiculous. But yeah, and as it stands, it would for me be an underachievement.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
But and especially how not us, and maybe not even the Chelsea fans in the chat, but like Andrew, like we're on socials and stuff, and we watch other channels. Seeing the way Chelsea fans talk about our players and how great they are, they talk about talk about Christensen, Mount, Kante, Jorginho. They talk about Lukaku and stuff, about how great all these players are. If they truly are so great, then what we've just said shouldn't be that hard for them to do.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, and this is because I said this about when the year Liverpool won the league and they were like top by November by so many points. And I was saying, if this team is truly as great as it's supposed to be, they're not going to bottle it from here. I said last season, if this team's truly great, they'll be able to retain it. I have the same standards for every supposedly great team, that you have to meet these certain expectations, and it shouldn't be that hard to achieve. Because if we're winning the league this season, I want us to break some sort of record with it. So whether it's kind of getting near to 100 points or maybe try and break the goal record or something like that, whether it's by the less goals conceded or most goals scored or something stupid like that, I want some sort of record with it.
DJ says, big up now and to the excellent panel. I want us to win everything, but the World Club tournament is the most trophy I want. The only one we don't have in our trophy cabinet.
Very true.
I mean,
very true.
Would that be top of your priorities? I mean,
no, I don't think
I would. I'd probably definitely have Premier League and Champions League way above that one, but maybe third.
No, I know DJ Sav.
Yeah, go on. Sorry, Prime. You all right, Prime? Okay.
Prime was going to say something.
I don't think he means top. What he means is we have to win it. That's what.
Yeah. No. I get what you mean. It would probably be third on the list, isn't it? You probably want it more than you want an FA Cup, more than you want a Carabao Cup or whatever the thing is called now.
I think it's just to say that we've won everything that this club can go for under Roman.
Oh, and now now Roman needs to sell, and Chelsea become self-sufficient.
But just to say,
I've won it all now. I've won it all.
Yeah, sell Chelsea and buy Nigeria, please. Thank you.
Buy Nigeria.
The whole of Nigeria. You want Roman Abramovich to buy the whole of Nigeria?
I want to see a World Cup in my lifetime. I want a World Cup in my lifetime.
Yeah, well, I've got fucking Southgate, so no chance of that happening.
Suddenly, most of the Chelsea players are Nigerian.
Yeah,
He's Nigerian. You know.
I mean, I just want England to win something. DJ says, spot on Prime. That's what I mean. Thank you. Yeah, I know it's that. We did all right yesterday. Obviously, there was the boos and that to Sterling and Jude Bellingham. Do I say I'm surprised? No. Can we really be the ones to talk about this? No, because what happened over the summer. So basically, I think what Southgate said, get our stuff in order, and then we can have a comment on it. But until then, you know, it's not right. But the last one to talk about before we do wrap up, obviously, on deadline day, you did sign someone. You did get a little cheeky signing. There were a lot of worries towards the end. Did it go through? I was too tired to wait, so I went to bed. I did 8 hours of coverage. That was enough for me. I'm not a Chelsea fan. I woke up in the morning, they were like, he signed. I'm like, cute. But I'm guessing you're all delighted that you've signed Saul Niguez.
Yes. What a deal as well. A deal as well. I've always felt that the reason this deal wasn't as quick as everyone wanted, but not to do with his wages. I think that was fine. The reason, by the way, Liverpool fans, he didn't go to Liverpool is because you're too cheap and tight to pay his wages on loan. By the way, I think it was all to do with the obligation option bit. Chelsea were never going to go into a deal where it's obligation to buy. That's too much of a risk. Yeah. If he plays shit, then you're paying 40 million euros for him. You know what I mean? It's like Bakayoko all over again. But I think the option to buy and the price as well, 30 to 35 million pounds. This guy has got a 9-year contract at Atletico Madrid. I think his buyout clause is like 178 million euros or something like that. So to get it down, if he balls out, especially, I think it's a phenomenal deal with the option to buy. Especially what we talked about earlier, with I think there might be a slight rotation of the midfield in terms of players. I think it's an awesome, and it was. I can understand people wanting Billy Gilmore, but I just honestly think Tuchel's trying to find a balance between youth and experience in this squad, and he wanted someone who's got experience, who's played in European Cup finals.
You can have Billy Gilmore in a couple of years' time.
Exactly. But once and also now we don't have to. We can rotate Jorginho a lot more as well. He doesn't have to play every single game. Yeah. Okay, like he did last season, and I don't know how he got through the Euros, because the end of the Champions League final, he was out on his feet. So that man's got more. But we don't have to force him. You know, we don't have to play him. We can rotate between the three. Kovacic and like on a Saturday against Liverpool, he brought on Kovacic because that was the only person on there you could bring on. If you go down to 10 men and play in midfield, now he's got 2. He can rotate more. It's a brilliant signing, brilliant deal, absolutely brilliant.
Mustafa says Martial is the best striker in the world, and Wolf goes Mustafa. There's timeouts for stupid opinions. Last morning.
Martial is not even top 5 strikers at United.
He's not even. Can people stop calling him a fucking striker? Oh, he's so uneducated. He's a left winger. If you want to even call him that.
If you want to call him a left.
Yeah, if you want to get technical, he's a left forward that can fart a firework out of his ass. It's shocking. Tuchel can get Saul back to his best. I genuinely believe that. I remember this guy who was rated 100 million plus a couple seasons ago. Fine, you've signed Saul Niguez. What's your thoughts on it?
Great signing. He is talented. He's a baller. I'm not gonna be like people and profess that I've watched him all the time and stuff. And whenever I have watched Atletico sparingly, he's not one of the players I've focused on. But I do know his talent. And him coming in, the experience he's already played in Champions League finals. He's won finals before. He's not a DM, but playing with what's his name, Simeone, you have to know how to defend. It's the basics. So he's going to be a brilliant signing. Andrew's right. We need to have the balance of youth and experience, especially when this front line that we have, I don't care about their talent. This front line that we have are not, what's the word? They're still inexperienced in the way of they don't have that killer instinct, like Mount, Havertz, Pulisic, and the rest of them. So him coming in is great. I think he can even play in Mount's role, where Mount is part of the 3 1 minute and then he drops into midfield. I think he can do that better than Mount can, certain aspects.
And And we can rotate Mount now, which is I know people don't.
Oh,
like to say
Jesus
that.
Christ! Don't say shit like that. Johnny will be right outside your
No,
house
but I'm
with a
just saying,
crowbar.
he is on the privilege. It's not
lock
only
the
us;
door.
it's England as well. He gets played too much. He gets played too much. He needs to be rested.
Don't want him playing for England in the position he plays.
I don't even know
That's
what
my
position
head.
he's playing against England for.
He's a cam. He's not a bloody creator.
I wouldn't
People
say
need to
he's
get
a
this
cam,
out.
no. Cam's
I
very
know he's an
hardworking
8. He's an
Hardworking
8, and that's the thing. That's the frustrating thing. Is I really like Mount, but it's frustrating. It works with Tuchel's formation because there is 2 of you. There's 2 of you as a 10, not 1 of you. So not all of the creation has to come off one person. With England, it's a sole creator. And it really annoys me. I'm starting to hate Mount, and it's not really his fault, and Southgate needs to go, blood. It's very simple.
Okay, troops. I think one of the things with Mount is because of what Mount does, he's hardworking and all of that. He will carry out your instructions. He'll carry out your instructions perfectly.
Yeah, he will.
You know, he carries out your instructions perfectly as a manager, and that's why they love him. But you know, it's annoying when you've got probably better players who can do more on the creative sense, but defensively and off the ball, it's a sacrifice you make.
Yeah, but Sam Niguez is going to help so much this squad.
I wouldn't even be mad if he took out Phillips and put Mount and Rice in a pivot.
That won't work. That won't work.
Well, I don't care. I just want Mount away from the 10. Just anywhere on that pitch. I don't care. Just
give it 4 years. When Mount's experience, he can play in a double pivot.
I'm not having 4 more years of him as number 10. Not a chance.
That's how long I have to wait at Chelsea.
We'll be here for 4 hours. We'll be here for 4 hours.
Chelsea. It's quite simple. Mount is a great player. Just don't play him in a 10.
You're exaggerating with that. Don't say great.
He can be great.
Now you're just getting pedantic on words. Mason Mount is a footballer that plays for Chelsea. Okay, Mason Mount is a footballer that plays for Chelsea.
Does he play for Chelsea?
With the potential to be a baller.
I've heard people say at this age he's better than what Lampard was.
Oh, fuck off.
Andrew?
I do not subscribe to idiocy. So I'll leave it like that.
Well, a Chelsea fan said it.
Oh, fuck.
I'd like to say he's not a Chelsea fan, he's a Chelsea player fan. That's the difference.
Hold on. I'm pretty sure someone said, who was it that was better than Scholes?
Johnny said Mount is better than Scholes.
Because Roy Keane said something about him, like he's like Scholes, that he plays in the street. But because people have selective hearing, not just Johnny, other people have selective hearing, they miss out some of the words and then put it into a sentence that their brain can understand.
I've never heard Scholes say that, because if he actually did, that would have gone viral.
It was Keane.
I've never heard Keane say it, because that would have gone viral when he won the championship.
It wasn't like he said, like how it's been performed. He said he's like Scholes in terms of he'd be like a kid who plays football in the street, around in the playground or something like that. But anyway, Saul Niguez, because I'm sure Sven wants to talk about Saul Niguez. But Saul Niguez, excellent option in the squad. Brilliant signing.
It was only because he was playing in the 10 yesterday and it triggered me. As does most things Southgate does. But Slen, Saul Niguez, what's your thoughts on that? And before you answer that, Mustafa says, "No, can you tell everyone why Martial will win the Ballon d'Or in 2022? He won't."
Niall.
Or Niall, whatever. But the simple response to your question is he won't. Greenwood has a better chance of winning the Ballon d'Or, and last time I checked, that's not physically possible because Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi are still playing football, and as we know, the public fucking of UEFA by Ronaldo or Messi at the Ballon d'Or celebrations where they get into a double bed and UEFA literally bends over backwards for them happens. So it's not physically possible for anyone else to win. Ask Robert Lewandowski. But Slen, Saul Niguez, what's your thoughts?
Oh my.
First of all, I can't believe It's that September 2021, and we are still discussing Mount's best position. I mean, you still haven't understood what Mount brings to this team or these teams. I mean,
We know
that was a discussion for last
we know
season.
what he brings to the team. We also know what he takes away from the team.
What does he take away from the team?
Who?
Creativity. Mount.
Consistent.
Takes away
what's the word? Consistent
takes
final
away-
ball.
Yeah,
Consistent final ball. Decision making.
to put it bluntly, he lacks creativity. All of it, the whole thing.
No, he
Fight
doesn't
me
lack
on it.
creativity. He lacks consistent creativity. That's the difference. Because he can't make a pass. We've seen it in the final. But
So
doesn't do
could I
anything.
if I had enough opportunities.
Enough of Mount. I can't start again. Like, I can't start again to explain what Mount does to this team. I rate Mount, and I know he has a lot to improve on. He's very good. And at 20,
One minute, I never said that he took anything away from Chelsea. I said he took
I never
away
said you
from
said
England.
that.
No. What I'm saying is, for Chelsea, it works because you've got 2 10s, right? Because you've got the 2 10s, it works perfectly. For England, he's a Saul 10, it does not work at all.
Then play to his strengths. You can blame your coach for that. I mean,
I do.
Mount is class. Let's get to Saul now. So,
he's not class, but okay.
On to Saul. Slim, what's your thoughts on Saul?
I'm very happy with the deal. Actually, it's the first time he's the second player we've signed who is a midfielder who is left-footed since we signed Matic, right? Yeah. So I'm excited. At least we have some depth there. I was afraid that we were going to start the season with the likes of Loftus-Cheek as our backup or a player you can call upon when our other players are injured.
You thought Chelsea would go into the season with Ruben Loftus-Cheek as backup. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, he was loaned to a few teams. He really hasn't gone back to his best. Okay, has he ever been to his best? He hasn't really fulfilled his potential. I think those are the few players that came from Cobham that we really overrated. Okay,
It wasn't even overrated, was it?
I think that's harsh.
That
injury. Yeah, I knew everyone was going to bring that injury back.
We've overrated.
Yes, we've overrated our players. Like Callum. Look at Callum. Callum is a good player.
I'm not even talking about Callum. I'm not even talking. He has time. I'm talking about the likes of Lewis Baker in pre-season. People are saying he still has time under Tuchel. Andrew, do you remember?
Lewis is how many? How old is Lewis? He's 26, right?
He's 26.
Yeah,
26.
And that's the problem with Chelsea fans. We keep saying Callum is young. He'll be our next Jesse Lingard if we are not careful. Like, just I'm actually for West Ham.
No. Jesse Lingard scored in 2
for
finals.
a middle.
He's a baller. Don't do that.
Hold on. Jesse Lingard's has still got time on his hands. He's still a youngster.
Yeah, very, very young. He's 19. So I'm very happy with Saul. He has come. And that position, actually, I was very worried because I didn't understand. Or rather, I didn't get it why we were not going for a midfielder. Yeah, we did in the end, and he will help us. He's what do you call he's a hybrid of Kovacic and Jorginho. He's very good with his passes. He can dribble the ball, and the best of all the points, he can shoot from the box. So he gives us another dimension when you're trying to attack teams that decide to do a low block on us. So I'm very happy. And actually, there's another point I was reading somewhere. This is the 4th time in 10 years that Chelsea have reaped 100 million from just selling players. And that has happened once to 3 teams in the last 10 years. Like just once. To Tottenham, Liverpool, I think, and Arsenal. So Marina
Arsenal
masterclass
managed
again.
to get
And
£100 million for players before. Fuck
yes,
off.
four good times in the last 10 years. And it's not an easy feat. So
No, Arsenal had to sell like 15 players. That's why.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense
I'm
now.
actually not talking about
Hold
this
on,
season. There was a
someone
time they
bought an
sold.
Arsenal player.
There was a
Fuck
time
my
they
life, what
sold.
they talk.
The season they sold Sanchez, and I can't remember. Yeah.
They
So
didn't sell Sanchez, then, did they? He went for free. It was
yeah, they swapped with.
No, it was a swap deal, wasn't it? With
Who else did they sell that season? They swapped with Mkhitaryan, right?
Yeah, worst
So
swap.
So they've done it. They've done it once. Liverpool have done it once again, and I think that's it. So props to Marina and his whatever she does. Like I love that. Sorry.
Liverpool did it on one player, Coutinho. Like 100
Yeah,
million.
and that's the only time they had like over 100 million.
Did United not do it when they sold Cristiano? I swear they sold a couple of other players along with Cristiano.
Maybe they sold Ronaldo for 80, didn't they? That was the world.
Yeah,
that was 2008. I'm talking about the last 10 years.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah, you're right. No, Arsenal would have. Remember, Man City bought all their players for like 2 seasons straight. So it's like they bought like.
And then they gave back Mikel Arteta, and it's probably been the worst decision ever.
Yeah, you're right. Actually.
We're sorry. Who is Mikel Arteta?
Yeah, so I'm happy with Saul. I'm happy with the transfer window, and I'm actually excited for next summer. We might go for the 3 positions that we need players. We've talked about the contractual situations between our defenders. We might go for Kamara, who is still 21, for free. Frank Kessie, a midfielder, a backup to Kante for free. I mean, Niklas Sule, another defender, we might get him for free in the summer. So we might fill all those spaces with a PSG, literally.
With PSG,
so because they are free merchants, like they get players for free. Yeah.
So Russ says, sorry, I just realised I'm a bit behind, but now you said Mount isn't creative. No, he had the most chances created in the league last season, 87.
Exactly.
He takes your call. One minute. Not exactly at all. He takes your fucking corners.
Can I just say on the chances thing? What you should
look at corners.
But what you should look at is the stat big chances, right? Big chances means that you've had an attack on goal or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And amazingly, without a proper striker last season, he actually finished 7th behind KDB, Bruno, and everything like that. And I think that's an awesome thing without having a striker there. And
with Timoen up front.
I'm so sick of this. I know I said it a couple of seasons ago, but that was taking the piss. I'm so sick of this open play assist or whatever. Assist is an assist, okay? Whatever, whether it's from the corner or whatever. So I think now because he was 7th from big chances, I'm expecting more this season. If you ask me, I'm expecting him to shoot. I want him in the top 5 at least.
And people missing what I'm saying. Like they're completely missing what I'm saying. I have said for Chelsea, it works perfectly with Mount being there because there's 2 10s, right? Let me say this slowly so that everyone understands, right? So, in Chelsea, there are 2 10s, which means it's easier because it also means there's an extra one to be marked, right? Surely maths works. There's 2 of you, that means there's double the amount of you to mark. We all there, right? Cool. Which means that there's the potential for more space, right? Because if there's 2 of you they've got to think about with a striker, with whoever's coming in deep, it's more to think about. Now, for England, he plays that on his own. He plays the 10 on his own. It means that he's marked out the games a lot. He goes disappearing in big games. So they put a man on him. Mount can't deal with that. He hasn't quite got it where he's able to shrug off the man or lose the man, right? He's man marked out of games. So for Chelsea, it works perfectly.
Ask Fabinho if Mount can shrug you off and run away.
Cool. There's certain instances where he'll be able to do that. You've also just given me an instance of another Chelsea one. No one has ever given me an instance where Mason Mount has had an incredible game for England. This is what I'm saying. I'm not saying for Chelsea he's shit, because he's not. The system and the way Tuchel plays and the way that he's got the 2-10s works perfectly for Mason Mount. But for England and that sole creator, that burden on one man, that burden where one person will be stuck on him, and he hasn't been able to find a way. And this isn't anything bad on Mount. He's still a very young lad, right?
Also, no, can you bring up that Russ comment back up? The one you just had? Bring that back up, please.
Yeah.
Russ, did you also play through to the part where Niall said Mount doesn't create, and then I corrected and said he does create, he's just not consistent with it, and then I explained why as well? Or did you just react?
Yeah, it's the thing for me is, for England, him being a sole creator doesn't work because he gets man-marked. He's still young. He can get out of that. I just think that you absolutely, for Chelsea it works because you play with your 2-10s.
But no, I don't know. I don't get this. I don't understand why we're not allowed. Chelsea fans don't allow him to think he can get better. I don't want him to be the best at 22. I think he can get better. I think he can get absolutely. I think he
play with 2-10s.
Oh, we play with front, whatever we play with. But what I'm saying is this: I think Chelsea fans should be great with his progress so far, and want him to get better, not to have everything thrown upon him like he's the best at the moment. Because otherwise, that means that he has to keep consistently level, and it can only go down. I'm wanting. Yeah. I think the one thing that's most liking about Lampard is I don't think he's that naturally gifted like the others, like a Grealish or a Foden. But what I think he does brilliantly, and why I think he'll have a better career than both of them, is that he'll work on it. He will work on it to get better, and he has got better since his first season. He's got better. He has to get better at decision making. That will come. But I want you. It's like you can't. And I know no one's said in this, and there's one person who like you can't say anything bad about Mount, but it's like you are allowed to say that Mount hasn't played well. Yeah, like Saturday, I thought offensively he was crap. Yeah, but defensively he was superb. He was superb defensively in that second half. But I just, like with all the Chelsea players, I wanted to get. I don't think Reece is better than Trent right now, but I think in the next 18 months to 2 years he will overtake Trent because he can do both sides of the game. Yeah, and Trent can defend. I'm not saying he can't defend, but I think Reece will be a better defender and a better attacker. But it's just
with a little bit of consistency.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is? You know what it is? It's like, and the Aspie kind of became this. You know how Aspie, Mr. Reliable, he'll give you 7.5, 8 out of 10 performances because we took that for granted. We just always assumed he'd do it. So so like we never. It got to a point, I think, for maybe the past year, 2 years, we started saying Aspie had fallen off and he was done because we just expected good performances, and that's like what he was doing. The game had developed now to a point where fullbacks now have to attack so much and get assists, but Aspie doesn't do that. He's just brilliant defensively, and people were like, "Oh, he's finished." But no, this is just if this is Mount's base level, right? And this is how brilliant he is. That means I expect these performances. That means this now is Mount's 6, 7 out of 10. This is Mount's average.
Yeah, which means
for him to be phenomenal, he needs to get then 2 assists a game or something like that.
And I'll say again. Chances, that chances stat, you can put out all you want, and that's fine to use. I would look at big chances. Big chances mean more to me because it means there's a shot on goal or a goal or something like that. And he's already 7th on that list from last season without a recognised striker, like a proper big man up front there to work on. I expect him, because he achieved that without like a Lukaku there. With a Lukaku there now, I expect him to be higher up that list. I honestly do, because I think he can do it. So and that will be another stage of his improvement, and he'll improve again.
Last year he got 13 big chances created.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just wanted to try that out there.
I know, but if half of them, I don't know how many. What's he got? 6 assists? Was it 4, 5, 6 assists last season?
5 assists.
So I mean, if we had someone who can convert the ball last season, just another 5 of them, even a double-digit assist season, which I think is fantastic. I think
Well,
it's
the thing is,
fantastic.
when people say that Werner was missing all these chances and stuff for Mount's high creativity, that's fine. I will accept that. That means now with Lukaku, Mount now has to get so many high assists, which is not going to be the case because like Mount he'll be improved, but he will still be this more or less the same as last season. Because in the past 3 games, what I've seen is, even though he has 2 assists, what I've seen is him make the wrong decisions in certain moments when he should have played Lukaku in or played Havertz, and he hasn't. And that's not me going on to him at all, because I expect that anyway.
And I think he's an intelligent player to do that, Prime. I think he's an intelligent player to do that. He has, and that would improve as well. So, and we're talking about guys going to be 23. He's going to be a very good player for us. A very good player.
To put into context, De Bruyne got 19 big chances last season, so he's not completely off it. I just think that he'll grow with age, just like all of them will. The only player who's the best player in the world at the age of 19 is Mason Greenwood, and we all know why.
When people say De Bruyne had 19, you know the fallacy with that? De Bruyne plays in a team where he creates, Bernardo Silva creates, Mahrez creates. They now have what's his name, Grealish. They have Foden. Everyone. So it's they're not. If Kevin De Bruyne has a bad game, other people will step up. With Mount, especially right now with our front 3, he's our sole chief creator. So if he has a bad game or he's inconsistent with passes, who are we relying on? Lukaku?
He is. It's no one else. Who else does that when he starts? Because you can't say Ziyech, because at the moment he's not starting. You can't say.
Yeah, and
you can say the only one who could possibly come into it is maybe a Werner, but that's it. There's no one else really. Havertz doesn't do it enough because he's always up top. And the fullbacks
unless we're going to play a different way where we're going to be more creative with our full wing backs, which is fine. But as of right now, we haven't seen that fully, yet. Yeah. And again, it's not me getting onto Mount, but it's just being honest. Because even at one man down against Liverpool in the second half, we still could have won the game.
Do you know what we've done here now? I said no to a Mount debate, and we just had a Mount debate.
So can I finish with saying
just quickly, you need to find me Johnny Boy. I want to debate him on Mount one day.
Okay. Yvonne, put your expectations.
About Gabby, but you want to debate with Johnny? Come on.
Yvonne spoken.
I've done Gabby on Twitter before. I've debated that one. But carry on, Sam.
Okay. So you've all debated, and you all have certain expectations on Mount, but mine will be very different from yours. He's creative already, not creative enough, but what I expect from him now that we've signed Lukaku is more goals. I mean, the space. He's really good with running late into the box, and his shots, sometimes he just shoots and either he doesn't connect very well with the ball, or he shoots way over or way wide. I mean, that's what I want to see him improving. He's already creative, not enough, but he can improve. But I want him to shoot, just try and shoot better. Yeah, there's a place where, the last game we played against Liverpool, he didn't need to shoot, but if you shoot there, shoot with your right and make sure at least work the goalkeeper. Yeah. So that's what I expect him to do this season. Shoot more, score more, because he'll be getting space and those layoffs from Lukaku. So what I expect from him this season is more goals. Assists, I don't know. Already I expected that last season. I'm expecting that this season, but I want more goals from him. Same to Kai Havertz.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I don't have a ridiculous expectation now, but it's like when people say, oh, he's class or he's world class or he's, this or that or generational and stuff. Because people know I don't use the generational tag with this generation of youngsters. But when people use the ridiculous stuff to describe Mount, I then expect ridiculous, abnormal numbers. Which, again, he's not getting, which is not his fault. But it's the way he's, overhyped and overgassed, which, again, shouldn't be. Let him grow and develop. That thing what Andrew brought up with his shots and stuff like that being a bit wayward. Lampard was like that when he was younger, but like no one got onto him, mainly due to the fact of no one expected Lampard to turn into anything special, you know, and he did. So, like, just let Mount play and develop. It's like no need to hype him. If Mount was doing all this in Italy or Spain or whatever, people wouldn't be hyping him. They just let him develop because no one's hyping Locatelli. But
Actually,
people want like Declan Rice and Tchouameni and stuff. You know, just let him play.
I said this last season. If Mount was playing in Italy or Spain or any other team, the way he was playing at Chelsea, he would be linked with a move to Chelsea. And the amount that the media will be putting, I said very well and said it will be 115 million. And Charles came to me and she was like, no, you know. But what Mount is doing right now.
How much do you say Mount is? 150.
Last season. That's what I said. That's exactly what I said. I said if whatever he was doing at Chelsea at that time, if he was doing it in Italy, Spain, or any other team, he would be linked with Chelsea for 115 million. Okay. And no one would complain.
No, he wouldn't. You know why? How much? What was Mount's goals and assists last season?
Did you just say 150 million?
No.
That's what I said last season.
I got this.
I've just repeated what I said last season.
Wait, Shem, what was Mount's goals and assists last season? Roughly. Do you remember roughly? You
had to remove your headphones. Anyway, I can't remember clearly, but
do you remember roughly? Not the exact amount, just roughly.
I can't remember.
Endless now.
Okay.
Endless
Andrew,
now.
do you remember his goals and assists roughly last season? The number.
Sorry, what?
Do you remember a rough estimation of Mount's goals and assists last season?
Is it 4 goals, 6 assists, or something like that?
10. Okay, so I'll be generous. Let's say 12. For a player that got 12 goal contributions last season, he's a number 8, but he plays in the attacking third. For a player who plays in the attacking third of the pitch, we're not spending 150 mil for someone who gets 12 goal contributions. No one's spending that sort of money at all.
Yeah.
You know why?
My point was, and I'm talking from what I was saying last season. My point was, they would value him based on what his potential. Yeah.
Are you talking about English tax? Is that English tax?
You can put that into consideration as well. But
150. Because if that's the case, how much do we spend on Saka or Greenwood or Harry Kane? Spurs want Kane for 150. I'm not spending the same amount on Mason Mount.
I said 115. 115.
I'm not spending 115 either.
Mm-hmm.
Now we don't have to.
And I was just pointing out a point I said last season. I'm not saying he's worth that right now.
We'll move on, and now we're going to have a Kepa Arrizabalaga debate. Why is he the greatest goalkeeper in the world? No, I'm joking. We're not having a Kepa
Arrizabalaga. He stopped a penalty. Is it a Panenka? They call it Panenka. From the best.
I was joking.
I know you're joking, but I had to wrap it.
We are not having a Kepa Arrizabalaga.
Can I just say this?
Oh, jeez.
Any team, I'm saying this out. Any team that wants to beat us this season, just dive and get a penalty in the box. That's all you need. Because the men can't save penalties.
We don't know that for starters.
He saved Aguero's penalty, didn't he?
We don't know what.
Yeah, he saved Aguero's penalty.
Because Aguero passed it to him.
He saved it.
That doesn't count.
It does count. It was in the game. It was in 90 minutes. But it counts as penalty. We're going to win 2-1 in your face. No. Do you want to get?
But Andrew, you know I don't rate Aguero anyway, so it doesn't count.
This show's gone on 37 more minutes probably than Niall wanted it to go on to.
To be fair,
25 debating Mount.
To be fair, I've done it a good way where we can overrun these shows a bit now because the Liverpool show's been moved to a different day. So we're it's no longer on a tight regime. We can be more flexible. It is great. And look, to be fair, we haven't had a Mount debate in a while, so it was quite nice to have one. Andrew seems absolutely delighted. I feel like he's going to get counselling after this.
You get a couple of beers, that's it. I'm just gonna get a couple of
Yeah,
beers.
I mean, obviously we know the Kepa Arrizabalaga is better than Peter Schmeichel, but the country's not ready for that debate yet. They're also not ready for the debate that Greenwood's better than Saka, but you know, I'm ready to. I can wait. I can be flexible.
There's no debate on that.
Well, you ask Arsenal fans, but to be fair, they're the same Arsenal fans that celebrate City getting a 4th goal. Could never be my club. Normally, when we got battered 5-0, what was? Oh yes, I said for fuck's sake for the 4th, and then I just sat there pretended to be shocked when the 5th went in. But you know, we move. But we are going to wrap it up there, though. We'll be back at 10 p.m. I'll be back with a different host. It will be RJ. He hasn't been sacked yet. There's a lot. The United lot, they really want him gone.
The Arteta of Let's Talk Premier League.
RJ just sits there saying, "Trust the process. Trust the process." No, I'm joking. We love RJ. We love RJ's great. DJ says 100% Kepa is class at saving penalties for us. He is good at penalty shootouts. The convertible says he is valued at 70 million right now, to be fair.
That's a lot. Actually, no, that makes sense. He's English. That makes sense.
Yeah, that I could just about stomach paying 70 million for Mason Mount.
Money, but it makes sense.
It is a lot of money, but to be fair, you get a lot of goals and assists with that money. Oh, wait. But moving on, before Slim beats me up, or Johnny's at my house, we'll be back at 10 p.m. Before you go, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. Got plenty of new stuff coming to you. Not doing England tomorrow. We're doing the Republic of Ireland versus Azerbaijan. Great watch along that tomorrow. That's going to be riveting game. And then we've got a quiz tomorrow night. And then Sunday we've got Formula One and we have got England versus Andorra. So I'm expecting a really exciting, entertaining game.
Boring.
Yes. Don't know how I feel about those. But Slen, where can they find you?
Before they find me, let me ask Chelsea fans to be okay. I've seen on social media people are quite mad that you are letting players go on a fee and having those small buyback clauses. I mean, from next season, we will not be allowed to have 24, 25, 27 players on loan. I think they capped it to up to, is it 6?
No, it's 8 in your own league or something like 8 if you. No, it's 8 if you're over 24 or something.
Yeah, so whatever Chelsea did this summer in letting those kids go is the right move, and having those buyback clauses is having an insurance. Like if they go and do well, they can come back. They don't come to bite us in the ass the way the De Bruynes and Salahs did in the past. So yeah, so don't be mad. Just support them and their way, the Tinos and all those players. But you can find me on Twitter at Slen TV, on Instagram official Slen, and on YouTube is Slen TV.
Perfect. Andrew, where can they find you, mate?
If you follow at the Winter Surfer, I usually tweet out if I'm on a stream or anything like that. Occasionally football on that channel. Also this season on Never a Foul on the Blue Wave podcast on there for any Chelsea shows. So you can follow me there. Subscribe to this channel.
Please do. I think we're 8 away from 400 now. So get that moving, guys. Get that moving. We've got the watch hours. We just need to get an extra 608 subscribers. So let's get this party started. But Prime, where can they find you?
You can catch me on the terrace. Follow my socials for anything that I'm doing. Today is Friday. I think tomorrow is
Saturday.
See, this is why you don't have friends, Andrew.
I don't need friends, just acquaintances.
That's true. You've got minerals. Anyway, I think tomorrow is the tweets of the week. If I'm correct. I'm not sure. But yeah, follow my socials for anything that I'm doing.
Just
Yeah,
let
I don't
people
know.
know. Tweets of the week is on the first XI. Prime absolutely forgot to say what channel the tweets of the
Oh
week's
yeah,
on.
it's first XI. Yeah, first XI.
It
Let's blame
normally,
it on that Mount debate.
What?
well, no, because I had a
you
very,
finished
very late.
once.
I mean, I had a very late night last night, so I only have to host once today, thank God. But time to beat up RJ. DJ says, as always, excellent content. Subscribe to the channel. Big ups, Stem Prime, Andrew, proper Chelsea fans. Peace, everyone. Well,
we're
Andrew,
not
not so much.
proper.
He doesn't like the youth.
We are not proper Chelsea. We are not.
Don't have the minerals for proper Chelsea. But we'll be back at 10 p.m. But until then, guys, thanks for watching and peace out.